Good morning. It's Monday, July 5th. We're going to be combining wheat. We've got another beautiful day. And before we can get started combining wheat this morning, we've got a lot going on. I'm going to get the sprayer fired up and we're going to spray some beans. Got 2 loads I want to do with some of that foliar fertilizer stuff, that strike, and some fungicide. So we're going to dig those out right now. I got the water running. Hopefully we'll have enough water here in a little bit and we can get started spraying. We're going to put some fungicide in too. Foliar fertilizer and fungicide. I don't know what I said. I'm waiting on water, so I'm getting all my other stuff around. That is a lot of jugs. Those are all the same. That's that strike, that foliar feed stuff. It's a 4018 with 12% sulfur. Again, I don't know that it does anything, but high grain prices dictate that we try some stuff. And, you know, if it works, great. So, and then there's 2 jugs there of Quadris that we're going to throw in. Enough to do right around 100 acres, just a touch over 106. So I need water. Don't have enough yet. I'm still waiting on water to have enough to load up the sprayer. Dad was fueling up the combine yesterday and he said our pump died for the fuel here. So we were taking this apart to look at it. You guys remember, you may remember, I fixed this last year, put a new capacitor in it. Apparently I didn't get the wires put back exactly where they were supposed to go because it worked for about a year. And then this one burnt through and it's broken. So we're going to splice that one together, try and tuck the wires up in there a little bit better so they're not rubbing. It was rubbing right there. And should be good to go again. Phil emptied both the trucks into the bin out back with the auger, and now he's starting to haul out some of the stuff that's a little bit wetter in the overhead there in that wet bin. And loading trucks. It works. Dad's gonna finish putting it together. I kind of jumped in on his project there, but we got it. We should have enough water. Let's go load the sprayer up at this point. Okay, pumping water in. Start loading jugs. 50 gallons. Oh, that was a lot of jugs. I just got everything in. We've already got over 1,100 gallons in the tank. If this is something that we adapt as more standard practice, shuttles next year. Oh man, my wife's taking my truck. I don't know about this. First time she's driven it. All right, let's go spray. I think I've got the computer set up right. We've got our strike. I did put boron in and our Quadris. We've got a full tank load, 1,250 gallons, so we should be able to spray a little over 100 acres because we're just gonna put 12 gallons to the acre on, which is less than I would like, but I didn't want to make 2 trips because this is a little ways away. All right, here's our field of beans. There's 175 acres here. We're gonna spray around 100 of it. One thing you'll notice, we've got some yellow pockets here, mostly along the ends, and there's a big spot up there. That is from water, from all the rain we had a week ago. And it's where it saturated the ground, it kind of knocked these beans back a little bit, turned them a little yellow. I'm very curious to see if this foliar will green them up. That would be awesome, but we will see, won't we? Spots like that. This foliar's got a little nitrogen in it. They're probably yellow due to lack of nitrogen because the root nodules kind of died off when we got wet. Oh my goodness, we were all over the place. Find your row. Green them up. I did skip a pass because I want to see if this stuff works. So I sprayed the worst of it along the road. We're going to skip that other little pocket and then we're catching a little bit more of this right here. If it's green and yellow in the middle in a week, we know our stuff worked. This is a beautiful field of beans though. Holy cow, look at these things. This is awesome. Let's stop and take a look here. Yep. So one thing to note, these are a very full season bean at a 3.5 maturity. There are flowers, we've got some down there, but I don't see a lot of them, so. Nice root structure, all kinds of root nodules on there. Branchy, tall. These are gonna be good beans. They look awesome. Sweet. All right, there's definitely a little more variation on this side of the field than there was over there. We've got a little bit of a planting date difference, and I think that's why. It's sandier on that side of the field, and we were able to get those beans planted almost a month before the rest of the field. There's a noticeable difference. But we're spraying them all, and we're gonna see what kind of response we get from our fungicide here. This is it's the second shot of fungicide, but it's the first one. We're just doing it earlier than we would normally, and we're gonna come back in and do it when we normally would also. But we're just about empty here, so we've got a test. That's what we wanted. One other thing I was looking for while I was out here is any weeds. I didn't find any. At least in this field, sticking up above the beans, they're very clean, so that is good. Those March planted beans that we've got, those have some mare's tail and some other stuff coming through, and they're gonna get sprayed probably later today. Okay, it is time to go combine wheat. I was hoping to plant some more beans this morning, but I ran out of time because I was waiting on the water all morning. So it's about 11:30. Dad's already up at the field getting started with combine. I'm gonna take the truck and head up there, jump in the grain cart. Brock will be here in a little bit. He had a 4th of July parade that he had to go through for fire, EMS, something, I don't know. So he was coming after that here this morning, and I'll probably put him in the grain cart and come plant beans this afternoon. That's my guess. All right, well, we better check the oil. Make sure our tractor's good. Oil's good. Check all the tires, make sure they're not flat. Better check the tires on the grain cart. Make sure they're not flat. Oh yeah. I crack myself up sometimes. Oh, the door's locked. Don't worry, I've got the key. Well, most of what we got is this back corner here. There's a little ditch right there that kind of curves around, so there's a point back here. And then, I don't know, another round over there maybe. We're just gonna sit here and wait for a minute and see how he's gonna handle this. He's gotta go back and get the end rows on the back side opened up, and yeah, we'll just wait here. Thing sure is fun to watch. He's gonna challenge me. Unload on the go with no auto steer around a curve. Should be the last time we need to unload on the go. He's got a sliver over there he couldn't get in the header with here, but that should be it. So we'll get him empty, let him finish the round, and wait at the front, and we'll get moved. The next field is just down the road, so it'll be a quick move. While I'm waiting for Dad to finish that round, I'm gonna go over. We've got a truck parked over there and hook up the header cart and get that pulled around so we can drop the head. Whoever designed the tongue on this header trailer, horse, they're brilliant. So a lot of our equipment has tongues like this, and it'll have a latch that you can pull up and extend the tongue, pull it out in order to hook up, make it easier so you don't have to get it just perfect. On this one, they made it so that the tongue pushes in, which you might say, why would you want that? Well, it's because when it pulls out, you have to remember to back up to relatch it after you hook it up. With this one, when you push it in, you just pull forward and it latches and it's done. Brilliant. We're moving, and I haven't been on the pickup and header cart side of moving in quite a long time. I'm almost always driving the combine, but Dad's driving the combine today, so. Well, he still knows how to do it. I bet he hasn't hooked the head up on his combine in a couple years. All right, I gotta get the hydraulics and the PTO shaft. Sweet. I have him open up a spot so I can park the header cart along the road here. We pull trucks off the lane. This field is triangular shaped. We're right at the point of it now. But we pull trucks off the lane there along the river. So, be out of the way over here. All right, Brock is here. We've gotten the grain cart, a combine ahead, and a truck moved. So, Brock hasn't fully had a good grain cart driving tutorial with this tractor, so I'm gonna ride with him for a little bit. Well, he's gonna ride with me for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go check on Jack, planting the beans, make sure everything's going okay, and then I'm gonna come up here and run the combine for Dad. So I'm kind of all over the place here for a minute. I think it's decent wheat. He's not gonna make it back here, which these are long end rows, but he didn't even go halfway before he turned around. I don't think he's gonna make it to the end. His window is covered. Back in the combine, I helped Brock figure stuff out on that grain cart a little bit. I thought he was going to give Dad a ride up to the trucks, but maybe Dad's going to walk. I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna combine wheat. This is pretty good wheat. Doing end rows, we're already at 100. This is good wheat. It's a little wet. Picked up some moisture overnight. This variety may not be quite as dry as the last stuff. There's some green leaves out here yet, but I think it'll keep drying out throughout the day with some sunshine and heat that we've got. Well, we might have a bit of a problem here. It's a little wet. It's starting to dry down, but there are pockets in here where it jumps up to 18%. We're averaging right at 16, which isn't terrible, but it's really a maturity thing. This wheat's just not quite ready. There's still green in the stalks, so I don't know. We may end up pulling out of here, going to a different field. It was close to the one we just finished. That was fine, and there was some of this variety is the same stuff that we finished there with, and I thought it was dry, but maybe not. Yeah. 20% wheat. I will say, this is a testament to what this machine can do. Again, like, I'm going slow because I feel like I have to, but this machine's not batting an eye at combining 20% wheat, 22% wheat that is as green as grass. Try that with a 7720. Well, at this point, I guess we're going to stay here and finish this. That last pass there, the moisture has jumped anywhere from 12.8 to 24.4 or something like that. I don't know. So it's highly variable. It's all over the board. There's the yield map. You can see definitely the green areas are the wetter areas. They're also the best yielding. It's the low ground here. And then if I flip over here, this is the moisture map, and it's the exact inverse. Anything red or purple is good. That's what, 15 or under, and we're good with that. It's the greens that are the problem at the moment, but blend it off, average is under 16, and we'll be fine. Now we're down to 12.1. A bit of a sand ridge in this back corner that's it's usually drier. Doesn't yield quite as well either, but still 100 bushel wheat here. Well, we're doing pretty good here. Still fighting some green down stuff in the very low ground, but it's dried out considerably on the high ground. I go from 11 to 20% in a pass where, there's the 19. So, yeah. We've got, 38 acres done in this field. There's only about 20 left. We haven't even got up to that house there, but you can see the map. It's all short rows at that point. So I guess Phil did start the dryer up, or he's working on starting up the dryer. because the one truckload he took back, both hoppers averaged 17 something from all this low ground. So well, we'll dry a batch or two of wheat, I guess. It'll be all right. The wheat's getting better over here. See the map. This is that sand ridge I was talking about. It wasn't quite as good up there, but now we're behind the houses and it's pretty much green all the way across the field. Looks like I'm gonna pick up a rider over here. A couple rabbits about to go running. Nope, there goes one. And there's one right in front of me. Down wheat. There's not a lot of it up here, just in the real low spots, but well, the more I get in behind and between these houses here, the better the wheat gets. 120. Average keeps climbing. This is, yep, this is fun. It's dry here. It's a good deal. It's a good deal. All right, Phil's here taking another full truckload home. We're kind of running into some storage issues where we've got our wet bin and our overhead bin full of kind of wet wheat. It's like in the 15% range, which is too dry to dry when the elevator is offering no drying charges up to 16% wheat. So we don't want to run it through the dryer, but it's a little bit wetter than we want to put in our storage bins to store it until January. So we need some drier wheat somewhere, and this field obviously wasn't it. So we're debating on where to go next. We have a couple of options, but everything that we have left is one of two varieties, and it's this variety that we have here and another one that we haven't combined any of yet. And so we're gonna go to the next field that has just a little bit of this SY100 and then some of the other variety that we haven't been in, and see if that stuff is any drier. It also doesn't have the dips and shouldn't have the down wheat like we've got here. That's really what the wet stuff is. So maybe it'll be a little better. If not, well, then we're just gonna have to stop and let things dry out, or let Phil get some of this stuff hauled in. So, but we're about done here. We just got some of these short point rows. Just the little tiny, yeah. Man, it got real good in these shorter rows there, real fast. 105.4 average. That is fantastic wheat. Awesome. All right, we're gonna get the combine emptied here and then drop the head, get stuff moved, and go find another field. At least open it up tonight. I don't know how much we'll do. So again, in this field, for some reason, my boundary shows that there's 57.12 acres in this field, and we combined 57.84. I know that doesn't seem significant, and it's not. But when you add 3/4 of an acre, you know, that 105 becomes 106, 107 pretty quickly. So I don't know why I'm getting more acres. Usually with harvest, I end up 1/4 to 1/2 an acre less than what my boundary says, because of the corners and the edges not being planted as far out as what the boundary is. So it's unusual, and it's happened in every field so far this summer. The baler guys have been out. They've got a bunch of bales laying on the ground. A bunch of bales. Here's our next field. I've got it all ready to go. There's 64 acres, almost 65, and this one, there's another, I don't know, 8 or 9 over there on the other side of the ditch. But you can see our variety change is right there. This little bit is the same variety as what we just finished. The rest of it is that other variety, so we can get a little comparison here. And if that happens to be a little drier, that's not a bad thing. Although there's not any down stuff, not any real low spots, so that shouldn't be too wet there either. Got the ends opened up so we can go get the grain cart. Phil will bring a truck in a little bit. This the ends were dry here. It said 12%, so should be good. Well, getting out of the combine here, and it took Brock to get that grain cart, and I noticed a couple of things that are off. One, this skid plate. We're missing a bowl right there, so we got to fix that. and you'll notice a big chunk down here. You know, there was a point when I was doing some down wheat behind one of them houses that I felt something like I hit a rock, and I wonder if that's when I did this. So we get to replace another skid plate. I gotta try and cut that off so it's not dragging up, but it's not a big deal in wheat harvest. I got some bolts and tools in the toolbox. We'll get that fixed up. All right, it's tight. Tighten the other one up too. Ugh. Okay, well, we've got stuff opened up here a little bit. On that first round I did there, I found the variety split and kind of tried to get my edge of the head right on it. So this is all the one new variety, that's all the SY100, and we're gonna do a comparison. So this variety is 25R47. It's a Pioneer variety. It's the only Pioneer seed we've got on the whole farm, I think. So what my monitor will do here is it will keep track of the load. So when I click the load, that's since we turned the unloading auger on and off, which I just did when I unloaded into that grain cart over there. And I'm gonna make a pass in this variety, and then we're gonna make a pass in that variety. And if I hit this button, it will separate it into each individual hybrid, and we can tell the averages for that. So we'll get a good comparison here on this round. Okay, we're just about to the end of the pass here. So if we go load totals and I hit this 25R47 for this round, averaged 104.1. Might go up to 104.2. There it is. That's pretty good. Let's see what the AgriPro SY100 does. Okay, well, I was gonna wait until I got closer to the end to record this pass, but I had to turn the unloading auger on because my grain tank was gonna overflow, and we're about empty, and when I shut the auger off, it's gonna reset my load. So load totals SY100 117.5 and climbing rapidly. Holy mackerel. The SY100 won that one. 15 bushel? Not quite. 13. This is impressive wheat. Oh, we're up to 118.2. Holy cow, guys. This is some of the best wheat I've ever combined, ever. Wow. Well, that was fun. It's always good when the stuff that I sell is better than the stuff that I don't sell, too. Like this. Yep, it's good wheat. Something broke. I heard a clunk, and then I thought, what was that? And then something sounded off, and then my tailing's full. Alarm came on. I'm guessing we broke a chain or threw a chain. Yeah, there's supposed to be a chain on there. It's off. Relatively quick fix. But Phil's back with the truck. We're gonna have almost a grain cart full when I unload, so I'm gonna get unloaded so Brock can go fill him up and get Phil out of here. All right, he's got a full truckload on there. Now, the worst part of this is getting to it. I think I've got to take some shielding off, and they're not easy shields to get to. Yeah, this one here for sure has got to come off. Get some tools, and we're probably gonna have to loosen the tension on this tensioner. Well, I'm not sure how exactly that happened, but that there is our problem. It's not on that sprocket. It's on all the other sprockets, but all right, whatever. I'm not sure why I did that, or why it did that. I pushed it back on there super easily, and according to this gauge, I mean, it's not over tight, but it's not super loose. I'm gonna try and tighten that up a little bit, but it shouldn't have popped off of there. Is that loose? Why'd that slide like that? All right, well, the worst part of that was the time it took me to take the shields off. We're good to go. Put my tools away. Now let's see if everything fires up okay and stops throwing error codes at me. Yeah, we're gonna get that one until it cleans itself out. It stopped turning the auger that was distributing the tailings back into the shoe. So it filled up the conveyor. We got to give it time to clean out. Although it should be doing it. Uh-oh. I wonder if something's plugging that auger up and it threw the chain again. Go look. Yeah, it threw it again. Something more serious is going on. I found a symptom, not the cause. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we're done for a while, boys. Those are the bolts and the springs that hold the sieve in place. So a chunk of that, another one of those springs or spacers or bolts or something, has gotten lodged in the tailings auger. That's what's causing the problem that we know of. Clearly those bolts did not get tightened correctly. I don't know who did that. It's not important who did that. I should have checked it, and I should have made sure that they were in there right. Whether I did it or somebody else, it's irrelevant. But I don't think, it didn't look like there was any significant damage done. So that's a good thing. But we've got to get new bolts, springs, spacers, all of the associated components to hold that in. The sieve is still there and still where it's supposed to be. So we're going to have to at least loosen that chafer up. Whether we have to take it out again or not to get them bolts in there, I don't know. But it's at least got to be able to be lifted up to get in underneath it to work on it. So that's going to be tomorrow morning's project, is go and get the parts and get it fixed. Fortunately, it is 7:45. We've covered 20 acres here, plus 60, 100, about 90 to 95 acres today. We had a good day, and our wheat is really good, so I'm not going to get it bent out of shape about this. It's not costing me much. All right, well, here's the situation. So those two bolts came out of the sieve frame, and they got ran back through the tailings, basically. There may be some in the clean grain if it went through it. Who knows? I don't know. One of them could have been gone for a long time. The second one just fell out. And there is a piece wedged in that tailings auger somewhere, and it's causing it to not turn, which is why it's jumping that chain off the sprocket, which is then the rest of the tailing system is still running, and it's plugging full of material, not able to clear itself out. The chafer has slid back a little bit and may have screwed up the electrical connection. We'll worry about that when we get to that point. I've got to get some parts in the morning, so we'll go get parts first thing, and we got to take that chafer. I don't know if it's got to come all the way out. It's at least got to get lifted up so we can get in there and work under it. I don't know if we're going to be able to lift it up to work under it enough without pulling it all the way out. Whatever, we can do it. It doesn't even take that long. So, major issue that we can't run? Yes. Should be a relatively quick and easy fix, assuming nothing else is too terribly screwed up and nothing's bent. The biggest thing I'm worried about right now is that sieve frame being bent, because it was rattling around in there with only one bolt holding it for who knows how long, and loose at that. So we'll see. Anyway, back to the farm. Big loud fan doing what big loud fans and burners do, trying to eat. All right, well, I guess I'm going home. So, thanks for watching today. Tough way to end it, but overall we had a really good weekend and got a lot done here, and I still consider today a weekend. It's a holiday, right? But dealer will be open in the morning, and we can get the parts that we need, and should be back up and running with little trouble. So, things are still good. See you guys in the morning. Thanks for watching.